All right, lovely. Welcome everyone to our webinar, Data Dilemmas, Tools and Strategies for Managing Decentralized Data. I'm Marsh Woodley, your host for today. Joining me are our data experts. We've got Benjamin Maimba, who's our solution architect, and we've got Ryder Lutswane, who's our customer success engineer. They will be guiding us through today's session. Let's have a glance at our agenda for today. We've done our introductions. We're going to talk about the data dilemma. Will be looking at strategies to overcome this, what tools and systems we can use to centralize your data, and then we'll go into closing, maybe looking at some of the questions that we have in our chat. All right, great. So before diving in, let's set the stage. Why are we talking about decentralized data today? Well, this topic gained attention as a critical pain point at the recent SAMIA conference. Many attendees shared stories with us of inefficiencies caused by scattered data systems, a challenge that we are here to tackle today. Now, with that said and the context set, let's explore what decentralized data really means and why it's such a common challenge. We'll also set in motion a poll on this topic for you to engage with, just so that we can understand what you as the audience is struggling with. So we can start our poll now. Lovely, thank you. I'll give you a few seconds to respond. Okay, so we are going to, while you guys are responding, at some point we will be sharing these results. Maybe towards the end, before we close off, we'll share these results with you to just give you an idea of how widespread this problem is. So let's have a look at our data dilemma. To understand the challenge, let's better start with a clear definition. Benjamin, could you please explain the concept of decentralized data?
Thank you, Marsh. So certainly, decentralized data refers to data stored across different locations, different systems, departments, or even different files like Excel spreadsheets, rather than having all the data sitting in a centralized place. So this can lead to data silos, inefficiencies, or inconsistencies in the data consolidation, retrieval, causing duplication of the same information because the data or the records do not have a master data. All right. So ultimately, this slows down the decision-making process due to the due to the effort that is required to produce accurate data for measuring performance. So we at Data Innovators attended the recently held SAMIA conference, where we found out that decentralization of data is a common issue and a challenge ranging from less complex to more complicated situations. So we found out that about 40% of professionals highlighted that decentralized data challenges is one of the major issues that they have. I think I'll hand over to Ryder, who can speak a little bit more about it.
Thank you very much, Ben. In today's world, there are so many buzzwords going around. Lately, we have all heard the word where they are saying data is the new oil. But what does it mean that data is the new oil? So just like oil, in order to get the value out of your data, you need to process it, refine it. That's the only way you're going to get value out of your data. But when your data is decentralized, it's all over the place. It's very difficult for you to even process that data. So I can give you an example of a retail store that has multiple regions, where every regions, they are managing their data independently in silos. And they are maintaining it the way that they want to maintain it. But if they need to report at a higher level, let's say head office, that means someone has to contact each and every individual person who's responsible for that data in those regions, and then consolidate it. And you will find out, as Ben has highlighted, there will be inconsistencies. That means that someone has to standardize the data before they can even do the reporting, which is time consuming. But if you can centralize your data, it will speed up your decision making and also getting the information, relevant information on time. I think that highlights the importance of having your data centralized. But for small organization that uses spreadsheet, I think they can use a centralized repository like your Google Sheet and your, what do you call it, SharePoint, Microsoft SharePoint or OneDrive. Thank you very much, Mash. Over to you.
Thank you, Ryder, and thank you, Benjamin. So now that we've explored the challenges, we understand that sometimes challenges will open the door to some new opportunities. So let's shift gears and discuss actionable strategies to address these issues effectively. So strategies often start with asking the right questions. Where are you on your data journey? Once that's clear, it's easy to map out the path forward. Maybe Ryder can also share with us his thoughts on unifying data access.
Yes, very much. Mash, definitely understanding where you are on your data literacy journey as an organization, that's very key. But also understanding where your data is coming from, where your data is sitting. That's also very important. I can make an example just to allude on my previous point that I've made with a simplified an example of, let's say, consider an NGO or NPO which runs the after school program for maths and science for grade 12 and let's say between grade 10 and grade 12 learners. Such organization might be interested in tracking learner attendance throughout the year and also tracking how learners are performing. They might also want to know, prior to them joining the program, how were they performing, and after joining, what are the results? Are there any improvement? In such situation, definitely there is no system that you can say it will monitor attendance automatically. Someone has to capture that information somewhere, usually, which is your Excel spreadsheet. In such situation, as I've alluded before, having a centralized repository is very key. You can have your Google Drive or Microsoft SharePoint, but over and above that, having also the data governance framework that will guide you who's accessing that data, who's using the data and how the data should be used, the security and so forth. It is very key so that everything, your data management tools are in place. I think my colleague Ben can give more on the technical side.
Thank you so much, Ryder. Yeah, so some of the effective approaches, just to mention a few, using what we call data fabrics or data mesh, which allow unified access of the decentralized data without physically moving any of your data. So what is data fabrics and what is data mesh? So these are the two emerging approaches in data management, each designed to address challenges of handling complex, large-scale data architectures. All right. So with data fabrics, this is a unified data management architecture designed to provide seamless, integrated, and accessible data across your organization, regardless of where the data resides. So it might be on-premise, it might be in cloud, or it might be in hybrid environments. So this provides a set of technologies and processes that automate data integration, data governance, and data access. So that's to do with data fabrics. So data mesh is a different approach also that shifts from the traditional data warehousing or data lakes to a domain-oriented approach. So instead of centralizing all your data in a single repository, data mesh provides distributing data across the different domains. So your business areas, be it your finance, your operations, and things like that. So with each domain being responsible for each life cycle, for the life cycle of its own data. So with these two approaches, you can ensure that you are seamlessly integrating your data and accessing your data for your business. So I'm going to speak a little bit about some of the steps to ensure that you have a good strategy to overcome data decentralization. So I'll just mention 4 steps out of the many. So the first one, I think it's being shared on the screen, which is assessing current data silos or systems to understand the various data locations and usage. So basically, you are reviewing your existing systems to identify where your data is stored, how it is used, and how to have access to it. The second one would be implementing a data governance framework. So basically, setting up rules and processes to manage your data effectively. So thereby ensuring that it is accurate, secure, accessible, and to the right people. You don't want the wrong people getting their hands onto the wrong data. All right. Number 3 would be to choose integration tools that align with your strategy. So basically, you're selecting softwares or platforms that help you combine and share data across different systems. Instead of having multiple systems, rather implement one system that's, if it's possible, that can save your various departments or your entire organization through a modular approach. The last one being to foster a culture of data literacy and collaboration. So basically encouraging your employees to understand and use data effectively by consistently providing refresher trainings and educating them on data-driven decision-making to improve their data sharing and decision-making processes. I'll hand over back to Marsh for the next topic.
Thank you for that, Benjamin. With these strategies in mind, let's look at the tools and the systems available to bring these ideas to life. So, when it comes to tools, the options can feel overwhelming. Ryder, could you maybe give us an overview of data integration platforms, maybe something that stands out?
Okay. Thank you very much for that question, Marsh. Basically, the way technology is growing lately at a rapid rate, it's easy for you to get lost and be stuck in analysis paralysis. So yes, it is overwhelming to choose one specific tool. But there are key things that you need to consider even before you can choose any tool. What comes to mind for me is how easy can the system that you are choosing integrate with your existing systems. So integral support is very important when you are choosing the new platform. The second one that comes to mind is how easy can your team work with this new platform or tool that you are choosing. The third one is, obviously, we want to grow as an organization. We should be thinking ahead, thinking about future. Even big organizations like Apple, Microsoft, they are always considering growth. So as an organization, you should keep that in mind. The system that you choose should also grow with you as your amount of data that you are collecting grows. You want the tool to also support you in that journey so that it doesn't leave you behind and you are only growing alone and you are back to the original problem of decentralized data. The last one, which affects anyone, even on your personal level, it does affect you. The cost, how much does the tool cost? It is going to determine which tool you can choose, because you want something that is affordable, but at the same time, it can meet all your needs. So striking the balance between affordability and usability of the system is very key. But with that being said, I just want to highlight few platforms that comes to mind. If you are thinking about the general purpose integral system, you can consider tools like Talent and Informatica, which are very good with your ETL processes and data management. But if you are someone who's working with streaming data or live data and you want low latencies, there are other platforms that you can choose from, system like Apache Kafka and Streaming Set. So those are very good with live data when you're working with live data. But if you are just a startup which is not technically strong, your ability in terms of using tech is limited, you can consider like the low coding if there's someone who knows how to code, or the no-code platforms such as Zapier and Tray. They are very good in terms of automating your workflow from different apps. I think I will also let my colleague Ben to give other platforms and insight in those platforms.
Thank you so much, Ryder. Yeah, just to speak about, the number of softwares, tools, I think we now have a plethora of tools that are out there to use, but I think it just depends on where you're sitting in terms of your data lifecycle. But just to add to what Ryder has mentioned, I also speak about data warehouses or data lake tools such as Snowflake, Databricks, BigQuery. That one is coming from Google. I think a lot of people are being annoyed by the adverts that are coming on YouTube. We also have AWS, Amazon, and Azure Cloud playing a crucial role in centralizing large data sets. All right. Then we also have automation tools such as Apache Kafka, Zapier, Flatfile, Airtable, Synaptic, Airflow, and a lot more. So it just depends on what you're really looking for, but there's a lot in the market. All of these automation tools will enable real-time data access and simplifying data management of the decentralized data. So I'm also going to then speak about the different stages that organizations are likely to be in their data journey. All right, so I'm going to start off maybe talking about some of the manual processes. Manual being, so for example, you are running or collecting data in your organization or for your program via Excel spreadsheets. So with that, I would recommend that if you're using Excel or flat files, you centralize all your data in your repositories like your Teams folders, your OneDrive, and Google Drive. I think Ryder did mention about that. Then you need, to add on top of that an ETL tool, which is your extract, transform, load tool, to then curate your data into a centralized data storage system. All right. The challenges with manual processes is that, with Excel spreadsheets, you've got inaccuracy and inconsistencies in capturing of the data. So you do not have any data validations and so much inconsistencies. You're dealing with different people with different capabilities. So maybe rather you also try to create templates that are a bit logged in to make sure that your data comes in a consistent manner. All right. Then you also have another challenge, which is basically you're dealing with too many files. All right. And this is where the ETL tool comes in to say once all your data or all the Excel files are deposited in your repository, then the ETL tool will consume that data and transform it. However, sometimes when the data that is in the spreadsheets are inconsistent, you start to get error because the ETL tool has not been transformed to cater for such values. So that's one issue with the manual route. And the second one is basically using forms. So, for example, you've got your Microsoft Forms, Google Forms, Airtable, Service CTO, Kobo Toolbox, and the like. So the only challenge with having forms is that, yes, you have put in or you've surpassed the challenges that you have with Excel spreadsheets. But with that, you do not have any underlying database. You still probably have to export all the results from the data that has been captured and then put it into a centralized repository. All right. Then the next level is probably using databases. So you also have on-premise databases like your Microsoft Access, Microsoft SQL Server, MySQL, Postgres, and the different database architectures that are out there. All right. Then you also have the cloud-based databases like your Metabase, your Snowflake, your Databricks, BigQuery, and the like. The challenges with those is that you probably don't have an interface that is capturing. So it's just a plain database that you need to, that people will be entering data in. But at least it's more centralized than the other options. The other challenge that you find is that ultimately the reason why you're collecting data is for you to get insights on your data and what is happening with your programs that you're running. So you need an application or the ability for a system that allows you to collect data, store it in a centralized manner, and also be able to produce insights and reporting on your data through, visuals or dashboards. You could also then connect your data or your databases to tools like your Power BI, your Tableau, your Looker Studio, just to get insights on your data. But that also means that those systems or those tools need to be connecting to your data. So there's also, all of those things that you need to consider when you're doing that. However, the ultimate solution, or one of my recommended solution, is maybe to go for softwares. So we have softwares that are provided on a SaaS software as a service, and some that are offered for self-hosting, which means that you can download and host on your own servers. But basically, all of those softwares also come in with their own challenges. So some of the softwares that I'm talking about include the likes of Impact Board, Airtable, Service CTO, Kobo Toolbox. Then we also have your ERPs and CRMs and the various other data management softwares. By the way, Impact Board is a data management and monitoring and evaluation software that we at DI created as a software that handles and offers solution to the challenges that we are talking about. So you no longer need to worry about the headache of implementing your own data architecture. Impact Board can solve all those challenges for you. So what are the challenges? Like I said, everything comes with its own challenges. Softwares also come with their own challenges. So number one, the challenge with softwares is licensing. So most of the good systems or softwares require licensing, but they are also free and open source softwares. For those ones that are licensed, they are likely to also offer free versions that you can use, which have a basic functionality that you might walk away with and utilize. Then you can always upgrade when the budget allows, which gives you more functionality and features. But if budget allows, go for the systems that will give you more value and a robust architecture, and that can handle all the data needs. So you don't have to be having multiple systems that you're implementing in order to have a unified architecture. All right. So the next challenge is basically user friendliness. You also just need to ensure that the system you choose is user friendly, easy to use and access, and does not require too much change control and change management to implement and train your staff. All right. The last component, because of time, that I'll mention is also accessibility to the platform or to the system, whether you're online or you're offline. We're still having challenges. I think we can go to the next slide, Mash. All right. So basically, when you're talking about accessibility, we're still having challenges accessing systems when people have to capture or collect data in remote areas. So the best option is for you to go for softwares that allow you to collect your data, whether you're offline or you're online, maybe via through mobile apps or even synchronized browser architecture. All right. So that will allow you to collect information when you're offline, and that information is then synced when you're back online. So with the slide that is being shared, you are going to see that this is the online offline architecture that we've created with Impact Board, which allows you, so with the first column, you see that when you're online and you're connected to the internet through your mobile phone or your laptop or any other device, you can actually collect your data, process your data, and that data is synchronized with your databases in real time. All right. But with the second layer, when you're offline, it doesn't mean that the system is also offline. So what we offer is that Impact Board allows you to still collect your data. It is stored within your device. And then once the device goes online, then that information syncs. So we're talking about column number 3, you're actually able to then sync all the data that you've collected that then goes into the database, and also you'll be able to access all the information that was captured by other people whilst you're offline, and you benefit from that. So it allows you to be able to access your data online or in offline mode. Thank you so much. I think I'll hand over back to Marsh. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ben. All right. So, with those inspiring examples in mind, we would love to hear from you, our audience. Please feel free to share your data challenges or ask specific questions about the strategies and the tools that we've discussed today. Alternatively, you can book or schedule some time with us and we can help you with your data challenges. All right, let's have a look at the questions that we have in our chat. Which tool is best to use? I will let my data experts answer that, but yeah, I think I see Benjamin smiling, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna
but
hand
I
that
think
over to you.
I think I can go for that
Go
one.
ahead. Thank
I've
you.
sort of answered that one a little bit to say it all depends on your need. There's no one size fits all when it comes to software. What might work for me as an organization might not work for your organization. So you have to clearly identify what is your need, what do you need it for, and also your technical expertise. If you are an organization that deals with certain thing and data or being technical is not your core skill, definitely you might want to get a SaaS, software as a service, that can easily be whether you download it and you integrate it to your process. Yeah, I think that's the best answer that I can give you. There's no one specific tool that is the best out of everything. It all depends on your need. Unless Ben, you want to add something?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, right? I think that's an accurate response. Just to allude to what Marsha said, so if you are in your data journey and you really need assistance, this is where we come in as data innovators, because that is our core competence in terms of implementation of some of the systems. You can give us a call, you can schedule a demo, we can then take our experts to then give you advice on how to implement your data architecture. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ryder. Mpo, I hope you feel answered. Um, I see another question from Tembi Magagula. Okay, wonderful. Let's see. So they have a problem where they are currently struggling with reporting and visualizing various data points. and they're trying to monitor this in their organization. How do we go about ensuring that we get value from the data that we are collecting from the business? You look like you're nodding, Ben. Does that mean, are you taking this one?
Thank you, Marshall. I'll take that one. So with Impact Board, which is also a monitoring and evaluation tool that allows you to create monitoring frameworks like your indicators, data dimensions. All of this is done dynamically, all right, to formulate structures to collect the data. So we'll then translate, we can use Impact Board that then translates all your data, all right, all your data points into dashboards and reports that can help you get real-time visualization of the impact of what your program is going through. All right. So Impact Board is not the only monitoring and evaluation tool out there in the market that can address your challenge, but just ensure that the one you choose will have the various functionalities that I mentioned previously, and I hope that answers Tembe's question.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Benjamin. I am also conscious of time. And I just want to let everyone know that if you need to book a demo, we're going to paste our demo booking link in the chat, as well as more information on how to get hold of us, and you can set up some time with us. If there's no more questions, we can close up for today. So thank you all for your active participation. Just to recap, we've explored decentralized data challenges, strategies to address them, tools to implement, and some real-world success stories. We encourage you to reach out for more information, schedule a demo with us. Yeah, so we'll paste that information in the chat shortly. And yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful December and some restful time off.
Thank
Say
you.
bye, Benjamin.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.